All right, welcome back to another episode of Daddy Issues. We got Larry and we got Rome.
Mm.
And,
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Well, today, I think we should talk about like just this whole quarantine thing and how it is, the challenges as a parent.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're a parent and you have your kids at home. Yeah, I think it's a good topic. It's a good thing to touch on.
And you guys are brothers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And kind of completely different situations, or kind of the opposite a little bit.
Yeah, different situations for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, do you want to tell a little bit about your story, or do you just kind of want to talk about
Well, I guess.
kids being home from school? That could be like a first
Yeah.
opener.
Yeah.
Shit.
So this is good. We're working out the
Yeah.
bugs though. That's good. All right. So yeah. So how is there any challenges? Like, can you think of any challenges like during this time that well, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me set the stage. You have your kids full time.
Yeah, I do.
Full time. How many kids you got?
I have 5 total before that lives with me.
4 kids that live with you, and full time dad.
Yeah.
And now that this coronavirus hit, kids are out of school. They're home 24/7.
Right.
I mean, that's. I have my kids half the time, and I'm like, thank God, because
Right.
like all the time, I don't know what I would do.
Right. Yeah.
So that must be tough.
Yeah. I find that like homeschooling is obviously the one of the biggest challenges, right?
Yeah.
Because how do you be a parent and a teacher?
Right.
Like
That's
how
true.
do you like discipline or not discipline the same way you normally do, you know? Because and kids have they have their ways with parents and teachers, you know.
Oh yeah, they'll manipulate you.
Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely challenging. But I look at it as it's a learning experience at the same time. I'm trying to figure out a better way to teach my kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's I look at it in that sense.
Now, do all of them do the online school in the morning? They wake up, they go on the Zoom. Yeah.
Yep.
And your kids had they were out of school, right? Like cuz Maine was something happened in Maine where they was like
They just went straight to summer.
what was it? Vacation. They had vacation.
Well,
Or
they
teacher
had
week.
they had an April vacation. Well, kind of like an April vacation or whatnot.
Mm,
I think they were out for like 4 days.
right.
It's really not a vacation. I mean,
Right.
it's nothing different than what they've already been doing. But
Mm,
So they just get a break from doing the school
doing
a little
schoolwork,
bit. Yeah.
man.
Right.
It's crazy.
right.
See, part of it for me is I think it's kind of a waste of time, because what my kids are learning now, like I think they were reading Charlotte's Web, and like 10 minutes on Zoom. Like it just wasn't like I
Right.
just felt like it wasn't any. It didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
didn't do anything. I was like, what?
Exactly.
What are you learning right now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's we have that, and then we have like what do we do for the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you include like activities, and what do you do? Like because you have to do activities where they're learning something from it.
Yeah.
And so now I have to put on this like scientist cap. How can I like create a science project out of going outside or from going outside or
Yep.
whatever? So it's just
Yeah, we've done a lot of crazy stuff. I've been printing out math sheets for both my kids, just so they have extra work to do.
Oh, nice.
Just telling them to read and like just do extra stuff, just because school is only like 2 hours long, if that, max.
Right.
So
they give you a hard time about that.
not really. I kind of try to make it fun. So
Right.
like I make it a game, and like
That's good.
so they kind of enjoy it.
Right, right.
But I caught my youngest daughter the other day. She was doing the math, and then she was like She was like, Siri, what's the answer to this? And like writing them all down. I'm like, you
Using
son
technology.
of a bitch. Yeah.
She's ahead of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, she's sneaky.
Yeah.
So
I try, and that's one thing I've been trying to teach my kids, to use like the
resources.
internet,
Right,
use the
right.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's huge, especially as we move into more and more, technology is advancing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like use it.
Now, what are you guys doing for work? If you have your kids full time, like how do you can you get a babysitter? Yeah, are you even working now just because of like the?
Because of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've been, business for me has been little to none.
Yeah.
For a lot of us. So I've been kind of full time on educating them,
Yeah.
being that teacher, I guess. trying to educate them anyway.
Yeah.
Being
yeah.
a teacher, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I've been with things, and I know you're still full time
Yeah, I'm still full time, man, but it's
working and
Are you working
Yeah.
from home?
no. So
wow.
at first they had me where because my daughter has asthma,
Yeah.
so she has a somewhat of a severe case of asthma. You know, she's,
And if catching the coronavirus for someone who has asthma is like some serious.
It's-
yeah,
but-
it's
yeah.
it's
Jaden
real
has asthma
serious.
too, so we're
For
like
real.
trying to make sure he's not
Yeah.
exposed.
Right.
And that's kind of where we at with that, you
Yeah.
know. So I was home for probably like a month. You know, they paid us admin
Yeah.
because working for the Navy, the mission has to continue. So they wind up calling us all back. We actually had a guy die on one of our bases, and they wanted us to come back to work.
Because of the coronavirus?
Yes,
Oh wow.
complications, and that's not. I mean, that's public.
Mm.
That's public knowledge at this
Right.
point.
Right.
So, but it was hinted that it was he didn't die on base,
Yeah.
but he was doing some homework and wound up catching corona because he was doing some telework, so he was home. So it's not anything he got from the base,
Yeah.
but it's just probably something that he's got off base. But anyway, they had me out of work, so now I'm back at work, and I do have, you know, their mother will come by. You know, she works third shift, so when you got this many kids, everything is a conversation.
Yeah.
Every move you make needs to be calculated.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
You
how-
have to
Yeah.
think
how
like.
tough
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the toughest thing, you know, having this many kids is you're dealing with so many different emotions. You know, they're all
Personalities
their
and-
own person.
Yeah.
They're all motivated by different things, you know. And my daughters, you know, they're a little bit more wanting daddy's quality time,
Yeah.
where quality time looks different for my daughters than it does the boys. You know, my boys are a little older now, so, you know, just playing Madden and 2K or something like that.
They're cool.
They're
good
cool
that.
with it, man.
And they can kind of hang by themselves
Right.
as
Right.
daughters.
Right.
Same situation with me is like my youngest wants daddy time the entire day, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
Absolutely.
my god.
And, you know,
Yeah.
you try to get work done, and
Yeah.
I'm a producer, a music producer outside of work, so just trying to juggle being a dad, still doing schooling, doing work, and doing music. I stay up late sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Stay
But,
up late, get up early.
I feel like that's the only time
Yeah.
I can get work done is after my
Staying
kids
up
go to bed.
after hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're tired.
Right. I'm. I've
You're
been playing
tired
with
at
them all
that
day.
point.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just think it's his vacation. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to get out of their head, because it's like, oh, I could play games.
They think
all
it's
night.
vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
vacation. It's
Right.
like it's still a school day.
Yeah.
So let's get to bed early. Let's make sure we do these. And like you said, like it's like 2 hours worth of work. You know, they got the rest
Right.
of the day. And if you don't come up with something, like you said, for coming up with extra work or
Yeah.
extra math work, then they're just kind of like, you know, either playing the game or like my daughter wants daddy time if,
Yeah.
if
Right.
there's nothing to do. And I try to give that to her, but I still got a lot of stuff to do. And with me being the only parent around, I do all the driving. I do all the shopping. I do all the laundry. I do all
Right.
the,
And then you're making them food,
Right.
lunch.
then I'm
you
making
know,
Right.
breakfast,
food, lunch,
on
dinner,
top
all of
of
this
yeah,
stuff on
everything
top of
else.
that. So it's like I said, everything is scheduled out.
Yeah.
Every move takes time, so everything has to be like, all right, if I'm going here, got to be back by here, there, because they need to do this and that. So, and it makes it tough now because they're all in the house. You know,
Yeah.
we can't really go anywhere. So, like, my daughter's like, I want to go here, I want to go there, and it's like, no. And it's challenging sometimes. Like, man, I just need a break. I just want to step outside, get
Oh,
some
of
peace and
course.
quiet, you
Yeah.
know. And I just don't have it. And it's 7 days a week for 24 hours a day.
360.
360, you know, it's just nonstop, man.
Yeah.
So I think it's just important to just step outside, take a breather every once in a while, or try to find things together, like you were saying, like trying to come up with games or something like that where you can bond as a family. I think that in society today, it's very rare that we take this time with
Right.
our kids, especially this much. And I think this is a great opportunity to
kind of slows you down and brings you back to earth.
Yeah,
for sure.
and to
For sure.
spend that quality time
Yeah.
with the kids.
Yeah, forcing us to do so.
Right.
And like you were saying, like the thinking is like, you got to put a different cap on, because you have to figure out, teaching them and everything.
Right.
And
And you like we have to dive back into school. Like it's not like
Facts.
we could just say, "Here, go and do that."
Right.
We have to understand it again.
doing, yeah.
Relearn what we've,
they do math differently than we
Yeah.
do.
Dude,
Like
my girl was
it's
just
like,
saying
it's
that.
crazy. It's like, what is
Yeah,
this?
she went to help her. She's like, "What is this new math? Like, what
Right.
the fuck?"
right.
Right.
This looks
So,
different.
Yeah.
You get the
Yeah.
same answer, but it was
I guess we'll get some there.
right. Exactly. So this whole thing is just, it's so many challenges, but like you said, there's good in this as well, and it's unfortunately we're forced to spend that quality time now.
That sounds bad.
I know,
sounds-
right? It doesn't.
That sounds bad.
But
See, the thing is, you don't get a break.
No, I don't.
I have 50-50, so I get a break, which is
That
I
sounds
cherish
lovely.
that time. I'm like, I love my kids to death, but it's
Yeah.
like, constant, 4 or 5 days straight, and then you're just like, damn, because my kids, it's all day, every day,
Right.
daddy,
energy,
Yeah. I have 2 girls, no boys, so they're not going to do their own thing. It's
Right.
it's even if we go play a game, I'll make up a game and I'll be like, oh, why don't you guys have a scavenger hunt in the backyard? And then it's like, shit, well now I need to hide everything and
Right.
make the map
Yep.
and do all that. I'm like, oh man, I thought I could just get away
Yeah,
with
yeah.
getting
Right.
some
And
free
then you
time
gotta
real
play the
quick.
game. You
Right, and then
can't
I gotta
just-
play.
yeah.
So
Especially with girls,
Yeah.
man, they want that attention.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And they know when you're not like paying attention.
yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, dude, I'm watching. No, you're not, Dad. You're not watching. It's like, okay, I'm watching. They just having that. They care more about the interaction and
Right.
that quality time. Where the boys is like, just give me my truck. Let me play the game
Yeah.
or something
Right.
like that.
Right. I mean, one of my youngest, Julian, is just like he's very like he'll want to show me something, and I better look like I better not look away. Like I better put everything down. Kind of.
You blink.
Yeah, you blink. Yeah. So it's, so he's like that. So I can't imagine having girls, 2 girls, or
And I mean, with girls,
because yeah,
and then their emotions too. They'll just, they can just cry one day or just more emotional one day than the next day, and you're
Right.
like, what happened? Like,
right.
what's the matter? And she said that.
Oh,
I'm
what happened
like, oh.
today? This morning, my youngest daughter poured my oldest daughter. They're only 2 years apart. She poured her a drink and said, I made this out of love for you or whatever.
Oh,
My oldest daughter was like, I don't want it. Like didn't care about it. And my youngest started crying, like bawling her eyes out. I'm like, oh my god, come on! I'm like, Tia, just say you like it. That's it.
That's funny.
Yep, that's how it is, though, man.
Yeah, and they like I watched my nieces. I was over there the other day, and they were kind of arguing. This is a couple weeks ago. They were kind of arguing, and I was like, boys, I feel like boys don't get into that. Like we don't
Yeah.
really,
Yep.
argue or anything like that. It's just like when you're done with this, look, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of
They do their little arguing,
yeah,
but not
it's
as much.
not
as
the
much,
Same
yeah.
way.
See, Onita has boys. She grew up. She
Mm-hmm.
raised boys, and then when we had my girls here, she was just like, "What is going on? Like this
Right.
is so much different than when I
Yeah.
raised, Jaden and her other kids." So, yeah, it's a different world with girls and boys.
So, have any of your kids asked you any like crazy questions or trying to understand this whole thing that's going on? Have you gotten any like
I don't think
questions
so.
that you couldn't
No.
really?
Yeah, my kids haven't really. They don't really care. Again, they
Yeah.
think
Right.
it's like a vacation. They think
They-
True.
Well, my
they-
oldest daughter wished she could go back to school. My youngest daughter hates school, so she's glad.
Right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, they think it's just a vacation.
yeah. I'm just curious, and to
Have you?
know what. No, I haven't gotten any crazy questions about
Yeah.
like the virus or anything like that. It's just like you said. I think they're just in that mode of we're home all the time. We don't
Yeah.
have to
This
go to
is
school.
fun for
This,
them,
yeah,
man.
this is, yeah.
I mean, you think about when we were little.
Yeah.
Right. I would have loved the
Man,
Corona to
A snow day was
That's
like
what I was thinking about
a
that the
treat.
other day.
This is like a buffet of treats. Man.
Right.
This is nice.
Right.
So
Because they don't understand, they don't work, they don't, they have
Right.
no understanding of like kind of
Right.
responsibilities and what needs to be done.
And I'm-
So
the one thing that I didn't see coming was having to go grocery shopping every 3 days.
Mm.
yeah.
When you
That's-
got
that's
older
a lot.
boys,
Now, can you leave your kids at home? Like, are they old enough to be left at home and then you go?
Yeah,
or-
for the most part.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
they're like 17 and my oldest
okay.
are 17, 16.
Yeah.
So you know they
then
can kind of watch
the-
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So
Mm.
I could
That's
step
at least
out for a
good.
little. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's good.
helps. It helps with time. It doesn't help the pockets.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
You know,
Because they're still there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, this is not a happy meal anymore. You know,
Yeah.
this
Right.
is
As
This is like
when
the-
they get older, it's just gonna get more expensive too. Like
Right.
with sports
Yeah.
and just everything, clothes, everything.
Yeah, they don't not just the Happy Meal anymore. You
No.
gotta get the
like I'm buying
Double
a lot
burger.
of
Same
a
meal
lot of
as you.
food.
Right.
Yeah. So
Plus-
it's a lot of food.
yeah. I bet
I didn't see that coming though.
every couple days.
It was every couple of days, man,
That's
because
crazy.
like I would buy like I don't know a loaf of bread, maybe 2 in like 3 days. That joint
It's
is
gone.
gone. It's like, well, how did this happen? Well, we each made 2 peanut butter and jellies. It's like each made 2. Well, and then he had 3, and I'm like, what the? You know, so it's crazy, man. You know,
Yeah.
you don't really
Yeah.
see that, and I think this time it really kind of inspires patience. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
right now,
Yeah, for sure.
and
Yeah.
it can be very challenging at times.
Yeah.
You know, they're home all day and you walk in, or you just wake up and like, it drives me crazy that they like sleep to like, they try to sleep to like 10 or 11
Mm.
and I'm up at like 6. Like, I'm like, what the heck? So I got to wake them up and try to get them to get their schoolwork, you know,
Yeah.
done and everything before 12 because they think
They
it's
don't
vacation.
want to do it. So you constantly that's a whole nother chore for us to
Yeah.
make sure that they're on it. I mean, there's some kids that you know do what they need to do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Jameer's
Jameer
probably
is
that.
that way.
Yeah.
He'll wake up on his own. He likes the whole academics thing. So
Yeah.
he loves school. So he gets up 8:00. He signs on. He does his work. I don't really have to worry about him too much.
right.
See, that's my oldest Tia. She's same thing.
Same
She'll
thing.
jump
She'll
on.
just
She'll
go
jump
right-
on her computer.
right
She'll
to
do
work.
it. It's my other one. I'm like, all right, Gianna, let's set up. I gotta get you on Zoom. You know, do what you need to do. She's always like, oh, Dad, can I leave class early? And I'm like, no. Like, listen to your teacher.
Right.
Right.
So do your so your kids are on? Excuse me. They're on live most of the time.
Yeah, so they do a live Zoom. Both of them actually do a live Zoom, and then the teacher gives them like a packet that they can
Okay.
sign on anytime, and
Okay,
And
but it's all
do.
digital.
it's all digital.
online?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So, and I mean, again, it's an hour and a half, my hour max for my youngest, and
Right.
2 hours maybe for my oldest. So it's like that's not a lot of time. So I'm always trying
Yeah.
to come up with some other stuff for them to do.
Right.
So
How do the kids feel about that? Because I know like one of my sons, Marcel, he's just like he doesn't do the online schooling well. Like
Yeah.
he does well in school,
Yeah.
like physical paper, like turn it into the teacher, you know, that way. But as far as like the digital platform, he's just like
it's weird.
Because
It's
if
different.
you're reading a story and you got to answer questions, you got to figure out how to pull it all up. And,
Yeah.
and so it's a good thing in a way because he's learning how to use the computer.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, he's kind of like, I just want to go back to the old, to the old way of doing schoolwork. Do y'all have any?
I
any
mean,
of the
some of
kids
that
say
is,
anything?
this is new for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's
Right.
Yeah,
like logging on and doing everything online is just so new. And I'm sure it's challenging for the kids too. Some of them, like the Zoom meetings, like those are cool.
right.
You know, for like my 5-year-old, she loves it. They all
Yeah.
get on there. and
Right, because they can
everything.
see their friends.
You see
too.
their
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think my middle son may have a little. He doesn't really like the online thing too much, but he does it.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Mhm.
cool. But again, right after they're done work, it's like vacation and
Yeah,
video.
let's
go
games,
play.
So
Right. Yeah. Huh.
So what do you guys think about the whole, everything shut down? So Nunu just signed another, or just said
An
another 3
extension,
weeks.
right?
Yeah.
So
that's it.
where are we now? We're at May. Was it the end of May? Something like
Yeah,
that.
close to the end of May, yeah. Because it was supposed to open up May 6th, I think.
Yeah,
And
and
now
then
we
it
just
got
did another 3 weeks.
May 4th or something.
May 4th, yeah.
Something
yeah.
like that. And now it's like the 20.
I mean, it's
20
crazy.
something. Yeah,
It's
it is.
crazy.
It keeps
Especially for
pushing
like,
it back.
because we have a restaurant in Rye,
Right.
but like a restaurant downtown Portsmouth, you're paying 15,000,
I can't
20,000
imagine.
a month for rent.
Holy,
Can't
I mean,
imagine. So many small businesses are
Yeah.
taking a hit, and it's unfortunate,
Yeah.
I would have thought being able to deliver
It's
would have been
unfortunate.
able to keep those businesses. Well,
But the thing is,
restaurant business.
so
maybe.
we are gonna do we're gonna open takeout in a week
Perfect.
because we need to try to make something.
Right.
But the thing is, you have to order food. You also have to pay whoever's cooking. You know what I mean? You have to have a couple people there on salary, and then you just have to hope you make enough in takeout or delivery
To make it
to
work.
just
to,
make
to do
make
it.
bill. You're not gonna.
Right.
You're probably not gonna make money,
Profit.
but you're gonna be able to pay your bills hopefully.
Or
Because you got to
got-
order food.
Right.
You know, the food costs. All of it adds up. It's crazy. So
True. True.
Are restaurants like waiting to open due to like a federal?
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
so
gotcha,
they're just
gotcha.
waiting for the government to be
go-ahead.
like
Gotcha.
or Sununu to open up. Oh yeah, open it
Gotcha.
back up. But and he had something right before he did the 3 weeks. He was like, "We're gonna open, but then you can still only have 10 people in a store at once." And it's like, how does that help a restaurant? You
I
know.
know.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
So
But
yeah, it's crazy.
So what about the 6 feet thing? If you have
Right. And
things kinda-
social distancing.
like we can eat at a table from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy
It's pretty wild.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
at some point, it's going to impact the economy worse than it's going to impact people with
for
the
sure.
virus. I think,
Definitely.
you know what I mean?
I never thought. Yeah.
It's gonna
Because it's affecting
yeah. Small
everybody.
Small
Right.
businesses are like
They're gonna be
the
gone.
heart of America.
Yeah.
And once we start losing those, and we're already starting to, people are like, look, I can't make it anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Um.
And then they had those loans out for people. And then, you
Gone.
hear Harvard, oh, it's gone the first day. But
Yeah.
Harvard, I think they're giving it back. And then there was another big company who got like 20 million, 50 million.
So
And it's just like,
you heard one of them was gonna give money back.
they're gonna give it back. Like I think
Oh,
they
wow.
filled out the application to to receive money, but it's like you're receiving $50 million
Okay.
for your business, and there's other people who didn't get anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because the money was once it's gone, it was gone.
Right.
Oh, it
So,
was only a certain amount.
Yeah,
They
it was
were-
like
310 billion.
yeah, 310 billion, and
That
And they
was- that
couldn't
was again.
spread that amongst.
but think about it. You're talking the whole U.S.
right.
Every single business, not even a certain business, every business.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So they're re-looking at the drawing board, and I guess they're gonna maybe try another one. Try
Yeah,
it again.
yeah.
I don't know how much.
It was
it's gonna be
smaller.
less.
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be smaller.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the number, but it was he said it the other day.
Millions or billions.
I think it was billions, but it was only like a couple. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right,
really
right.
nothing compared
When
to
right.
yeah.
If the 310 went that fast,
Right, yeah.
I mean, do you think do you think we'll overcome this? And if so, how long do you think it'll take?
I definitely think we will. I also think it's going to bring new opportunities for other entrepreneurs coming up because
Yeah.
banks are going to be more lenient to give loans and try to get those
rebuild
people
the
right
economy.
to rebuild. Yeah. So I definitely think we'll get over it.
Yeah.
Hopefully within a year, but
Right.
who knows? I mean, the shitty thing is, I think we're gonna fall right back into the same thing we were doing with like, kind of, how the planet's getting healthier without everyone staying at home. I think we're just gonna
It's gonna hit
fall
again.
right back into the same same shit we were doing.
Yeah.
It was actually mentioned on one of the news platforms. I can't remember who said it, but they said the virus is gonna calm down a lot, basically go away, but it'll be back in the fall.
That's what I
Well,
heard. Yeah,
It'll be back.
It'll
in
be
the
back.
fall
Yeah.
for a second wave.
because
For a
it
second wave.
dies like the heat kills it,
Right.
and then like September-ish or
And then-
whatever,
yeah.
it'll come
So
back.
if it kills it and it's dead, it's gone. Like how
I think there's still probably like people carrying it. Or I don't even know.
it changes all. It's like
Yeah.
it
I'm not
sits on
gonna
your
go
skin.
there.
Yeah.
That's another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is crazy though. Like it's like, where does it go? It
And
dies, like, but how does it?
Right, but
resurface?
it's still around.
I wonder if my daughter's gonna remember. I mean, she's 5. I mean, how old is your youngest daughter?
My youngest is 8 and my oldest is 10.
So she'll
this-
definitely remember this whole.
They should, yeah.
It's definitely one of those
It's gonna be
I
a
was
small. It's gonna be
I
they
was
were
there.
there, but they're probably not gonna remember
the specifics about
how
it.
rough it
Right.
was for. Well, no, I'm sure it'll go down in history. So
Oh,
it'll
this
be
definitely
sad.
they'll be teaching this in
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
books.
Take
soon.
notes. Take
Yeah.
notes right now. Pass it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, honestly, like if May 25th comes and things are looking good, things open back up. Oh man, people are gonna be like rejoice. Like,
Hopefully,
so
that's what I was
excited
thinking.
Look at today. Today was a nice day.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
other thing
okay.
is there's still a lot of people who are like real nervous. You know, my dad went to the grocery store, fully, kitted out with the mask, gloves. He put his groceries in the garage, hosed himself, took off his clothes, washed them. Like, he's like serious about
Wow.
this shit. And I'm like, damn,
Wow.
some people are taking this to the extreme.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I wish,
I-
when this comes out, people would kind of get back to normal, shaking hands
Yeah.
or whatever, going out to eat. But at the same time, I just think people are going to like
Be a little cautious.
ease into
about
it. Yeah.
It is different. It
Yeah,
is
it's for
different.
another podcast.
Yeah. It is different, like, to see people walking down the street and like completely like
Yeah.
as if
It's
like
weird.
as if there's like a invisible bubble, like people just automatically. It's just
Yeah.
weird.
I mean,
to
you
see.
can't even cough around somebody now.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
what? You threatening me? You trying to take
Yeah.
my life?
right.
It's like, I don't know. It's crazy, and
Yeah.
I'm really hope this doesn't separate us even further from
Absolutely.
becoming, human beings having some type of love and unity
connection. Yeah.
connection between each other, because we're already separated more than ever with all the technology and
Oh, yeah.
Facebook and
Yeah.
everything else. This could only push that envelope a little bit more.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
You have family members not going to see other family members.
Yeah.
Facts.
and
I hate
it's
that,
time.
man.
This is time. Like,
But I will also say, you have a lot of family members reconnecting through Zoom and stuff. Like, I haven't
true.
talked to my aunt and uncle on my mother's side for like 10 years,
Mm.
and I've had like 3 different Zoom chats with them, with my whole
Yeah.
family. So it's kind of
that is true. I've gotten
Yeah.
some phone calls from family that I
Yeah.
didn't use. I never got these calls before the virus.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's good. Yeah, like you're saying, in that aspect, yeah, for sure. I think that's good that people are thinking of each other and reaching out.
Yeah, making sure everybody's safe, and I mean, and you're sitting
Yeah.
at home all day. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can do every day, and
Yeah.
I mean, so I got a lot of stuff I could do if I was home by myself, like especially producing music. Like, it'd be a perfect opportunity to work on my craft.
yep,
Really try some things out, and it's really helped with like Skype sessions and stuff like that for growing in certain areas. I can do Skype sessions, pay for Skype sessions with people that probably typically wouldn't give that time,
Mhm.
but
Right.
they're
Yep.
home not
Yep.
doing anything. So
not
it
doing
makes-
anything and not making money too.
not making
so it's
money,
like they
so-
can make a little bit.
So
Right.
now I can say, hey, top producer of the whatever, like
Of the world.
Of the world. Like,
He's discounting right
I'm
now.
looking at, I'm looking to learn a little bit more about this. Would you willing to talk to me for a few hours for this much? Yep.
That's awesome.
So
yeah.
it's depending on how you look at this. You can really use this in your favor. This could work out in your favor. So you're talking about more quality time and these are all things that we probably always wanted to do. Like,
yeah,
if we're on our deathbed, it's like you're thinking about your kids. You're thinking about everything that's most important to you. And right now you're kind of in a situation where you're forced to only have the things that's really important to you close to you.
Yeah.
And that you would think we would be happy,
it's stressing
again,
everybody out.
on our deathbed.
Yeah.
We would be like, man, I really wish
Yeah, one more day with
I
my
had
kids.
one more day with my
Right,
kids, or I wish I had one more time. I mean, enough time to really just get to know myself, have some time to really think about, or some time to do things that I really, that I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now is a good time for internal growth. You could take some time to really look at things and stuff like that. But like you were saying earlier, not having money and stuff could be, you're not thinking like that.
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
A lot of people are stressed out, not having those finances and the kids at home.
Right.
Like, that is the tough
That's-
part.
yeah.
That puts you in a whole different
Definitely.
type of vibe when you
Uncertainty.
uncertainty, and you got kids to take care of. So it's really tough when you can't even just to get a new job, a job these days.
Right. Yeah.
It's a tough time. It puts people in a very tough spot.
For sure. Definitely.
Word. Well, yeah, I think we got like 30 seconds left before this cuts out.
Oh, okay.
But there's 2 sides to every story. This is
Facts.
our side, and good
Yeah.
looks. It's a good
Thank
episode.
you.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
Listen, you can't hold me down. You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down.